Welcome back. The governor of the State Bank, Dr. Raza Bakir, said yesterday on Tuesday that Pakistan has made significant progress towards getting off the FATF grey list. We'll be talking about that with our guest now in the studio. And Dr. Raza Bakir also said that in the last two reviews in May and September last year, Pakistan made significant improvements in the 27 points that were supposed to cover the recommendations made by the Financial Action Task Force. We have with us now in our studios Dr. Usman Chohan, who's a political economist. Thank you, sir, for joining us on our program.
Thank you.
And Naseem Saab is with us already. The comments of Dr. Raza Bakir yesterday, there's a lot of talk now. Recently, there was a meeting in Beijing, and Hamad Azhar Saab, the Minister for Economic Affairs, he was there to present Pakistan's case. And everything that we're hearing right now seems like Pakistan's moving in the right direction. There were 27 points, out of them 5 were met earlier, and now the remaining 22 seem like we've also covered them pretty well. So Dr. Saab, your feedback on it?
I believe that it is a good time to reflect on the progress that our country has made. It's been a collective effort. It's involved government and political will. It's involved cooperation from many agencies. And so on the many points that we had to cover, some progress has been made on all of them. The question is always, is it enough? Now, from what it seems in Beijing, the signal is very positive. We have to wait till Paris in February to find out if there is a clear verdict. But the indications are positive this time around that there is at least some chance that we'll get off the grey list.
So we've been on the grey list since 2018, since President Donald Trump has come into power. These additional measures and demands sort of came up at that time, and many people say it's due to the relationship between the United States and India. However, at the same time, Pakistan and the United States are working together to bring about peace in Afghanistan, to bring about a peace deal there. So recently, when Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi visited Washington, this was also discussed that helped us to get off the grey list. Do you think that we've made any progress on the diplomatic front in that?
Yeah, definitely. As you said that it was imposed in 2018, then that was the legacy of the previous governments. So this government is really working hard on this one, and they have made significant changes, and they have proved in their meetings in May and September with the FATF, and now the meeting in Beijing was very positive. And as you said that Shah Mahmood Qureshi, he said in his presser as well that in Davos, Prime Minister Imran Khan talked with President Trump as well and asked him to help him to get out of that grey list from FATF, and that he promised as well. So because Pakistan is doing all the positive things, like as you said that to bring peace in the region, Pakistan is helping America to have dialogues with Taliban and Afghanistan government as well. So Pakistan is doing the positive things, and Pakistan has done significant changes in curbing the money laundering and terror financing as well. That was the main reason for imposing bringing Pakistan into the grey list. So Pakistan is doing positive things at the moment, and hopefully with the help of America and with the positive things done by our finance ministry, so Pakistan will be getting rid of that grey list very soon.
Okay, so the steps that we've already taken, there have been so many of them. For example, investigations into accounts, etc., real estate transactions, and there's also convictions is the one point that the FATF has been a little bit concerned about with Pakistan, and then there's also the creation of the financial monitoring unit. There are a lot of steps that we've taken, Dr. Saab, and I also think that, and then a lot of integration has taken place between our agencies, between our provinces in order to achieve all this, and in a relatively short amount of time.
Yes, I would absolutely agree. It shows that when you have the willpower as a nation, the impossible becomes possible. I'm saying impossible because the requirements that were put down by the FATF in so short a span were so demanding, and yet we have made such progress on so many fronts. In addition to the financial monitoring unit, as you said, we have begun to regularize the seminaries. We have put the dispensaries under the health department. So what we're trying to do is go from an 18th century economy, which means that one where there's a large informal element, into a truly 21st century economy, and that's where we're showing that we're successful. It is in a large part a kind of signaling. We're signaling a strong commitment that we want to be a responsible player in the Committee of Nations and to have a functioning system that is integrated into the larger global financial architecture.
Right, and also a lot of documentation is taken. You know, we're trying to document our economy, which has a lot of resistance, because suddenly there's a huge change for the public having to go through all this paperwork, which none of us are used to before. Even the legitimate transactions and all require like an arduous amount of paperwork. So, sir, I mean, we have to commend the public, I mean, and the institutions which are now requiring that you do this, and they're implementing it as well.
As you know that when PTI government came into power, they were having fiscal deficit and current account deficit as well, and they were really into the doldrums as far as the economy of Pakistan was concerned. So it's not the government who is going to bring the changes, it's the public as well. Those who have to make their hands together with the government to make all of these changes, because if Pakistan is in grey list and if God forbid it goes into the blacklist, then the economic inflation will rise again. So yes, Pakistani people, they are not used to all these paperwork and doing these things, but in this global world now, this technical and other things they have to do to make hands, shake hands with the government and have to take out government from these troubles. So government is trying their best to bring Pakistan back into the fair list as well, or into the white list.
Right, and then the actions against outlawed organizations has been that as well, and a lot of other steps that we've been taking, taking up action against